Good evening. Uh, Taz Trans in Japan back again. I know it's been about 2 weeks since I did one of these, and I did pre warn everybody that has watched, and I don't know if there are regular people, but if you have watched all two of my videos, I did pre warn you I was probably going to be quite bad at sticking to schedule. However, despite that, even though it's been 2 weeks, a lot of stuff's happened, and I'm just going to share kind of like the most important one. Um, I finally came out to my parents, uh, and it actually went about as well as you could hope. Fortunately for me, I never really thought my parents would receive it negatively. They've always been very supportive. They've always allowed me to sink or swim on my own terms. So this probably feels like the next logical progression for them, to be honest with you. I've always been a bit of a wild child, even though now I'm a wild Obasan. Um, so I'll tell you basically first how it happened and what was said. So I was on my way to work and I was really struggling with my dysphoria, and like I'd the previous night I'd had an argument with my mum, and I was trying to tell you something and you wouldn't listen, and you just, you know. So I kind of sent her a message. We were messaging backwards and forwards, and I sent her this long message saying, "Mum, I'm trans," and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I kind of already knew. Like, we've just been waiting for you to tell me, really." Um, and she went, she was a bit shocked, but she very quickly went from shocked to protective mother bear mode in very very short time. And later that day, she sent me a picture of her stood next to the trans pride flag, which was sweet, but also a little bit much for how I was feeling at that particular moment in time. But that's my mum. Um, I haven't really fully spoken to my dad about it yet, but my mum told my father, and we've had conversations since then, and he's been really cool. When my mum told him, she said, uh, "Oh, Taz is trans." Oh, and he said, "Oh, okay. Well, she's always been a bit weird." I'm assuming he probably said he, but for me that's a little uncomfortable. Um, she's always been a bit weird, so I'm not really surprised. As long as she's happy, I still love her, and it doesn't matter to me. So he's been a bit stereotypical British dad about it. Don't address it directly. It can't hurt you if you ignore it, kind of thing. Kind of like you do with a spider, Unless it's a giant one in our house, we just kind of ignore them until they go away. The big ones get evicted, but the smaller ones is like, just ignore it. It's fine. It will deal with itself. That kind of thing. But anyway, yeah. So fortunately, coming out for me has been pretty easy and pretty straightforward. I mean, I still have to. There's a few people I still need to come out to here. I have to sort stuff out at work. But the positive is I will be able to go home and be myself. So, um, I want to say to anyone who's going through something similar or needs to come out, if it's safe to do so, because I don't know your situation, I don't know what you're going through. If it's safe to do so, I would say do so as soon as you can. Obviously take the precaution of making sure if the worst happens, you have somewhere safe to go, or you're already stable. Don't do it if just to do it, but don't wait 40 years like I did. It eats you up inside. And unless you're pretty sure that your parents are gonna hate it, and you'll know if they're gonna hate it or not. Um, it's probably not gonna be as bad as you think it is. Um, but you know if you can do it. If you can do it, and you're safe to do so, don't wait 39 years. Anyway, it was nice to talk to you guys again. So please take care. 今前にずっと